Ready, hot!
The Sooners have become the cardiac crimson as of late, scoring 101 points the past 2 weeks and eating every single one of them. So as Oklahoma visited the land of purple, Amon G. Carter Stadium for the first time since TCU joined the Big 12, there was reason for crimson confidence. That's because after the Horned Frogs got over the whole excitement of joining the Big 12, they had to deal with the consequences of joining the Big 12, which included losing 3 straight conference games at home. Fear the Frog? Not likely. The Sooners were 4-0 all-time versus TCU in Fort Worth, and the Frogs were just trying to avoid losing every single home conference game on their schedule. Meanwhile, Bob Stoops' boys were looking to win their 8th straight game in conference, and, oh by the way, claim at least a share of their 8th Big 12 title. TCU came in ranked atop the Big 12 in total defense, so it wasn't a huge surprise that OU's first points came with only 36 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Andrew Jones' 11-yard pass to Damian Williams capped a 5-play, 56-yard drive, and the Sooners had drawn first blood, leading 7-0. Almost 12 minutes later, the Horned Frogs strike back. Landry Jones was looking for Justin Brown, but found TCU safety Sam Carter. Carter takes it back 46 yards, all the way to the Oklahoma 6-yard line. On the next play, TCU quarterback Trevone Boykin calls his own number and runs in from 6 yards out. It's all square at 7. The Frogs are jumping with joy. Boykin ran 11 times for 36 yards. But as they've made a habit of doing, 3 out of the last 4 weeks, the Sooners drove down the field and put points on the board in the waning seconds of the first half. Andrew Jones locates Jalen Saunders cutting across the middle, and Saunders scoots into the end zone. It's 14-7 Sooners. Saunders continues to amaze, catching a game-high 7 passes for 108 yards.
I wasn't expecting it to be all like this, but I kind of expected a little bit. I was going to have at least a little bit success for the season, but I wasn't thinking I was going to be able to a big role like I am now.
OU's halftime lead bodes well for the Crimson and Cream since OU had won 32 straight games that led at the half. Third quarter took only 71 seconds for the Sooners to score as Damian Williams breaks off the 66-yard run and goes untouched in the process. It's really not even close. It's Damian's 4th touchdown run of at least 65 yards this season. It's 21-7 Sooners. Williams racked up 115 yards on the ground on 18 carries.
This is just the line, executing. All I can do, no one touched me actually, so, it's the line doing what they're supposed to do. Receivers running guys out, blocking guys. So all I can do is, run as hard as I could, make sure to let nobody catch me.
Speaking of people no one is going to catch, let's add Brandon Carter to that list. Trevone Boykin went over the top to the sophomore receiver, and he ran away from the Sooners secondary for an 80-yard touchdown pass. OU's lead was only 7, 21-14. with 9:33 still remaining in the third. Late in the third, more Boykin, this time getting acquainted with Sooners senior defensive end R.J. Washington, who sacks and squishes Boykin, setting the ball loose. Frank Shannon picks it up and runs with it, but the ball was blown dead and the call on the field was an incomplete pass. But after review, the call is overturned, much to the pleasure of Bob Stoops, and it leads to a 34-yard field goal by Michael Honeycutt. Oklahoma leads 24-14. The Horned Frogs would add a field goal in the fourth to come up short on a possible game-tying or winning drive in the final minute of the game as Oklahoma wins it 24-17 and shares the Big 12 title with Kansas State. The Sooners have now won 10 games in a season, an NCAA record 34 times.
In the end, it's just great to be in this position and to be a winner again, and for these guys to at least either Big 12 champs or co-champs, either way, they're recognized as champions. And these group of players deserve it. They've played hard through the year and fought through a lot, and they've had a really, you guys have heard me say multiple times, a really good, positive attitude and discipline about them off the field and on the field, and it's it's fun then to coach guys like that when they're doing the things you're asking them to do.
So resilient. You know, whenever we needed a drive, we got it. And tonight, unfortunately, we didn't finish it the way we wanted to as an offense, but as a team, we did. You know, the last couple games, the offense drove it down and helped out the defense, but this game, the defense stepped up and won the game for us.
It's been a struggle. I mean, this league is a grind. Throw Notre Dame on top of that grind. You know, we need a break. We're spent in a lot of ways. We're tired just because of the depth of this league, and it's the totality of the league that'll always get you. It'll never be 1 or 2 games. People don't realize, you know, when you go 9 deep and throw the #1 team in the country on top of it, it's very, very difficult.
It means everything to us because, you know, obviously the season didn't end up exactly how, you know, we wanted it. You know, lost at home, not typical OU football, and you know we had some, you know, high-scoring games these last couple of games, and as a defense, that's not what we wanted. But to end all of that and fight through all that and the injuries and this guy going down, that guy going down, and to end it with a Big 12 championship in Fort Worth, nothing like it.
You end the season with the championship. You know, however controversial you want to make it, it's the conference rules. But you know, now we got momentum going into a bowl game, and whether it's playing Florida or playing Oregon or playing A&M, however it shakes out, we're going to be playing a very talented team. But you know, we got a little momentum going into that big game.
So Oklahoma improves to 5-0 on the road this season and has still never lost to TCU here in Fort Worth. It was a sour season at times for the Sooners, but one that may have a very sweet ending indeed, as Oklahoma looks to be headed to the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans. We'll find out for sure on Sunday night. Reporting from Amon G. Carter Stadium in Fort Worth, Damon Fontenot, News OK Sports.